to the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Houston Texans and the Washington Commanders. Up here in the booth, Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis is always pleased to be with you. And this one should make some fans of defensive football very happy. CD, we have two of the top 5 pass defenses about to go toe-to-toe here in this one.
Thanks a lot, partner, for showing a little love to the defensive side of the ball. These two units have certainly earned it, and I like the fact that you've recognized it. Look, I expect this one to be a lower-scoring game than we're used to seeing, because both teams want to move the ball through the air. Both teams know how to shut it down. It's going to take big-time plays and maybe a few mistakes on the defensive ball for someone to gain an advantage.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
To throw is Green on first down. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Montez Sweat in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball in the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. You know, Charles, for this defense, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won what seems like forever. But sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts. Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
No gain on the play there, second down. Well, this Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just...
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And it's Washington that scoops it out. Down the numbers. There he goes. Past the 20. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the kick is good, and the Commanders out to a 7-0 lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. Bring it back over the line of scrimmage. More gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Well, it's a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. Great blocking on the return. It springs in for 25. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And despite the 3 touchdown passes he threw, there's a lot to work on this week, wasn't there?
Oh, ton of interception.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going really with almost a 1-to-1 ratio, that's not going to work for you well at all. Not over the long haul. The beauty, though, somehow found a way to win.
Yeah, they still got the win last week. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Joe Tryon from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now out comes Houston. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. First and 10, it's Pierce. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Looking at a second and 11 now after the loss. Looking to throw. Green. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and it curls back inside for the completion.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
To throw on second down. Green. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it, put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. Jonathan Allen with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
This is fielded inside the 5. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a first and 10. As the Commanders make their way out on offense, let's take a peek at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the Texans will take over with a first and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And they work this well upfield across the 45. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. A run for Pierce out of the gun. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's on second down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Straight ahead, it's Stevenson. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try to keep the defense honest.
Or else they just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Drain now to throw on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talked about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now. Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now here's a throw that's complete, and he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. They'll get it inside the 20. A huge play there for Washington. 45 yards. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the final readout, by the way, on the next-gen stats, I mean, goodness, he hit a top speed of 22.2 miles per hour. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Houston set to take over. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Back to throw. Green. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Again, it's Robinson. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 15 yards the pickup. First down, Washington.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Second down and a run by Robinson.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. This from 44 yards away. Oh, that was never on target. It's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Green on 1st and 10. Man open left side is Brown. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll look to throw again. They set up the screen for Stevenson. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the 1st down.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw on 2nd down. McClendon. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Now, this is a quarterback that's already in the top 100 all-time in passing yards, but that last throw going to move him past Roger Staubach on the all-time list. Roger Charles at 22,700.
Don't forget, he also won 2 Super Bowls, played from 1969 to 1979. And I would dare say Roger's numbers would be larger, but remember, he had a commitment to the Navy. But graduated the Naval Academy, and back then you had to serve your 5-year hitch before you could go on and join the NFL.
This is Smith with a grab. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Back to throw again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case,
this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with career touchdown number 126, the same number Jim Brown had during his 9-year career. And the Commanders take a 3-touchdown lead. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it is now 21-0. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making it.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jamin Davis.
And he's got room.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Commanders back out late in this first half. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. McClendon. And he will find his man on the outside. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
Looking to throw. McClendon to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Touchdown! A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Commanders continue to pull away here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. To throw is Green. Looking to throw on second down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Green throwing on first down. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end Everett. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back.
Only 2 quarters of football left in the regular season. Everybody's excited to get to the playoffs, so excited that we're just going to skip right over halftime and get back to the action. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out comes the Washington offense as we're going to look at the playoff race in the NFC. Well, here we sit, week 17, just 1 more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Guys had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open.
He's got him in, complete. Touchdown, Washington. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And he pushed it right. It's no good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And the big fella stopped that one in a big way. I think doubling him, that's a big priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back to throw. Green. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Back to Robinson now on first down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
To throw on second down. McClendon. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Washington. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the punt. A prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On second down, here's Pierce. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Calling no gain there. Now they're making it a 3rd and 14. I don't know that you've got a wealth of options here now. 3rd down from your 2.
The question is, how much confidence do you actually have in various aspects of your team? In your defense, in case things go wrong. In your quarterback to take care of the football. Your offensive line to protect it. If you're feeling pretty confident about all those things, you might take a shot right here.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Taken from just outside the 30. A good head-down running on the return. Gets about 15 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Throwing to start the drive. McClendon, he's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
To throw again. McClendon. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Joe Tryon bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Off play action. McClendon. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. And he finds McLaurin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looking to throw. McClendon. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harrington, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. McClendon. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 12-yard line. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. McClendon. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Robinson, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr., his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit right there. They're not going to cut into that heck of a lot. How can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense taking over again. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Green throwing to start the drive. That's underneath to Pierce. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of...
And the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Montez Sweat able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that.
And he coughed it up. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. The Commanders' offense set to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
It's going to be a runner. It's going to be a thrower. Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we can probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's #4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. The one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the year. And the Commanders are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
A good start to the drive. Here's Hitzcott out on the left side. On the move past the 40. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Operating from the gun. Green.
That's complete to Pierce. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Delivers another one to Pierce. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Looking to throw. Green. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Gerald Everett. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50.
And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter.
Lutz good on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. McClendon. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
At this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. Yeah, that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Looking to throw. McClendon. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he will be taken down, but it's a big play and a conversion for Washington on 4th down. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. 2nd down and 8. They'll run
again here with Robinson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. He's got room at the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Houston set to take over. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Able to locate his man Slayton on an out route. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their head.